Hello and welcome to another episode of 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and today, talking about the Florida State Seminoles 2021 college football team, it's a man who needs no introduction, but we give him one every Monday morning. It's Mr. Logan Landers. How's it going, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Jeremiah? Happy to be talking some Florida State Seminoles with you on this Monday morning. Also, shout out to our guy, Bobby Butler. This is his alma mater, so we're going to give him a little bit of extra love today on the show, on the program, and talking about the Seminoles this morning.
Absolutely, yeah. Shout out to Bobby Butler, came through the Florida Seminoles, hit that NFL draft. In the first round, was picked by the Atlanta Falcons, had a 12-year career with the NFL, two-time All-American. The man is just an amazing person. He's a great person, giving back to the college football and to the high school football and even to the NFL, like through his education and just running camps and just being an all-around amazing person. He also brings us our amazing Legends videos every week here on 100 Yards of Football, where he interviews the greats from football, whether they were all the way back to Delray Beach, when he was in high school, playing with the Rocks, all the way up through the Seminoles, all the way through NFL. We have some great videos every week. So make sure if you love watching our videos, you're going to absolutely love watching Bobby Butler with his interviews. Sometimes he's had as many as 9 other people on there. And it's been incredible. And we've seen some incredible interviews, and we've got another incredible one coming up tonight. So yeah, that's a huge part of this. And so thanks and shout out to Bobby Butler. But yeah, today we're talking about the Florida State Seminoles. So Seminole Nation, sit back, relax, and let Logan Landers tell you what you guys have to look forward to for this season. And Mr. Landers, yeah, I'm looking forward, of course, to getting butts back in the seat, to seeing these games in person, going to the tailgates, experiencing, the feels and, all of the greatness of, being together to watch a great football game. But Mr. Landers, what does the Seminole Nation have to look forward to this year?
Well, Jeremiah, we've talked a lot on the program about how last year COVID messed up a lot of teams. They didn't have enough time to prepare, and unfortunately that affected their record. And Florida State, they're a victim of that. They were a victim of that, no doubt. Mike Norvell came in. It was his first year, and with everything going on, he just, it was hard to prepare. You weren't able to meet everyone for a long amount of time. There's a lot of Zoom meetings, but there's a big difference between those Zoom meetings and meeting up in person. So that definitely did not help the Seminoles last year. They finished 3-6, which any Seminoles fan knows out there that is just not acceptable. They got to do better, and I think they are going to improve this year, though. So let's talk about the team. They are getting a good quarterback this year, man. They're getting Mackenzie Milton from UCF coming over to FSU, but we'll see how he can do. You have also Jordan Travis, who's your starter last year. So that means we're going to have a little bit of a quarterback competition this upcoming year to see who's going to be getting that ball week 1. So Travis did have a solid 2020 season. He ran for 559 yards, so he did show that he can do it on the ground as well as in the air. He also ran for 7 touchdowns as well. So that is a good way to start out, but we'll see how he can do. Can this translate into a good 2021 season? Or was it just a lucky 2020 season? It remains to be seen. So I think that we're going to see a good quarterback battle between Travis and Milton. And whoever has the best, spring practices leading up to week 1, I think that's the rightful owner for who's going to be the quarterback in week 1. Because, for a team that went 3-6 last year, you got to be able to have all options available for any position. Because, obviously something wasn't going right that last year, whether it's quarterback or on defense or anything like that. So you got to have willingness to just kind of be open to everywhere. And plus getting a former UCF star in Mackenzie Milton is going to definitely have a little pressure for Mr. Travis this upcoming year. So I think that is going to be a key this year. Also, the run game was kind of the one lone shining star for 2020 last year for the Seminoles. They ranked 4th in the ACC in yards per carry. And that's probably going to continue this year in 2021. You have Jajuan Corbin, who is going to be, I think, coming back and having a good year. Also have a good up-and-coming guy in Lawrence Toafali. So you're going to have this good 1-2 punch at your running back position, which is kind of what we talk about for a lot of these teams now. It's not just you have that one-star running back and, the other guy on the depth chart. It's more of these guys are getting more and more competitive in athleticism and just speed, strength, you name it, for the running back position. And we're getting more of these really solid 1-2 punches in the backfield for the running back position. So I think that's really going to help out. And I think these backs are really going to be the key to a very successful 2021 season if you're a Florida State fan. So we'll see how they can do this year. So for the offensive line, you're getting pretty much everybody back, which is solid. So we'll see if they can improve and get better than last year. But the big concern, I think, for Florida State this year is the wide receiving core. So you have Ontario Wilson, you have Keyshawn Helton, and your tight end Cameron McDonald, who averaged less than 13 yards a catch last year. So not the most explosive wide receiving core, at least of last year. But there's a little bit of hope because they did get a good bit of transfers. They got Andrew Parchment coming over from Kansas, as well as Malik McLean, Destin Hill, and Joshua Burrell. So you're getting some young talent into this wide receiving core, which was a little bit stagnant, whether it be from just drop passes, just not running the best routes, or maybe just a little bit of the quarterback as well. So we'll see if either A, the veterans who from last year can come back and have a better 2021 season, or we'll see some of the young guys I just mentioned, either from transfers, or if they're coming up the depth chart, how they can do, and if they can improve, and if they can get more touches at the wide receiving core, it remains to be seen. So overall, this offense, it's not the best, I don't think, but I think the main thing is the running backs are really going to have to carry this team, especially now that you're having kind of a quarterback competition. You don't know who's really going to be starting out this year. Is it going to be Travis or is it going to be Milton? We'll see. But I think that whichever one they go with, I think that as long as they can improve on last year and get a more dynamic passing attack, as well as your wide receivers who have to do a little bit better as well, because under 13 yards a catch, that, we might look at some big numbers like, 16, 17, but, nowadays with football being more definitely pass heavy than run, it's a little bit kind of glaring to see that. So I think that the running game's going to step up. I think the passing game needs to get that next big step as well if Florida State wants to make some noise on offense this year. But let's move on over to the defensive side of the ball. So they did lose a few guys for the NFL draft, but they did get a lot of talent in the transfer portal in 2021. They have a good pair of SEC defensive linemen who they snatched up. You have Jermaine Johnson coming over from Georgia. You have Keir Thomas out of South Carolina. And also got 3 other FBF backs as well. So you're getting that young talent. Like I said, you're dipping into the transfer portal. You're getting guys who, either didn't get the most playing time, didn't enjoy their coaching experience, whatever it be, who are going to get that fresh jolt, who are ready to perform day one for the Seminoles. And I think that Jermaine Johnson, Keir Thomas, and the other guys they grabbed are going to have that much needed kind of boost on offense. So I think that's really going to help out. You have former South Carolina safety Jamie Robinson, who had 74 tackles last fall. He's looking like he's going to be your next nickelback. You have Jarquez McClellan, who was from Arkansas, and Brandon Moore from UCF, who are also going to be in that DB room. And I know our guy, Bobby Butler, has probably been studying them, seeing how they're going to do in his secondary that he manned for all those years with Seminoles. So I think they're definitely going to have a better defense this year. And we'll see who can take that next big step and who is going to really help out in 2021. We'll see how it is. You did get Adam Fuller, who is your coordinator, but we'll see what he can do. You have some good transfers coming over, but you have a defense last year that ranked 105th in yards per play allowed and 6.5, and scoring defense. They allowed 36 points a game. So that is the big key for me, and that's for a lot of these teams like we talk about in the program. If they have a good offense or a decent offense, a great offense, but the defense just lacks in giving up too many points because offenses are just getting more and more explosive each and every year. You're getting guys who are just getting faster, stronger, and just better, and all every team basically. So I think that Florida State is going to have a decent season. I don't expect them to go 3-6 like they did last year. I expect them to definitely improve. But looking at their schedule, week 1, it is going to be a rough one. They're facing Notre Dame, who is always a well-known team going to that college football playoff for many years. We'll see how they can, stack up against them. But then they have a few games I think they should win. They're facing Jacksonville State, Wake Forest, Louisville. So I think those are games they should definitely win. The next one on the ballot I see is North Carolina later in the year. So I think that's going to be a tough one there. North Carolina is a good program that we've talked about. You face Clemson a few weeks later. That's always a tough one. No matter who's on that team, Clemson has been a powerhouse in the ACC for a long, long time. You face the U, Miami, in November, so that's going to be always a good rivalry one there as well. And then end out the year on November 27th, you face the old buddies at the Florida Gators. So I think that Florida State is going to have a better season. I expect them to maybe get to 500, I think, which is solid considering they were a few games under 500 last year. Not sure if they'll quite get into a bowl game. We'll have to see how everyone else falls and how their record's going to stack up. But I do expect a better season from the Seminoles. I don't expect a 3-6 repeat from last year. I expect them to get close to 500, if not at 500. And I'm sure that's just what some Seminole fans want, is just improvement as your team grows, as Mike Norvell gets more comfortable. And this is, honestly, people, you could say this is his first year as a head coach since, last year was a little bit of a fluke for a lot of teams, and you weren't able to get all your personnel straight. But now you get a full season. Now you get, it's not an all ACC schedule. You get to face a bunch of different teams. You get to travel more. And like you say, you get that great home field advantage now with fans coming back. So I think that's really going to help out the Seminoles, because I know our guy, Bobby Butler, can attest, and I know a lot of fans who've watched Florida State, man, once the stadium gets rocking, it is definitely an electric place to play whenever you're at home at the ACC for the Florida State Seminoles. So I think the Florida State's going to have a better year, and I think they just got to keep improving. And maybe we'll see them in a bowl game in the ACC championship in a few years. But for now, hey, they're just improving day by day.
Yeah, they are. And, they have, like you said, a lot of room to run and to grow right now, and plenty of, expectations as to what they should be doing, based on, their past and their history and the, amazing, wins that they have had in the past. And, but it's a great season. I feel like it's a very good fresh start season. They can come in, the expectations may be high for any team, but this is a team that has, had extreme greatness in the past and not too far in the past. So I feel like they can, start to get back and, get back in the saddle, as it were. Well, all of our Florida State Seminoles fans that are watching, and all the Seminole Nation and the entire college football nation that's watching, tell us what you think. What are you looking forward to for the Florida State Seminoles team? Tell us in the comments, or tell us, online, or tell us over on our podcast. And if you're listening to us or watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, we really appreciate it. But please jump over and listen to us on our podcast if you haven't joined us over there. 100 Yards of Football. Look it up anywhere that you listen to podcasts, including on Spotify, over on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. We're there for you every day. We have great amount of podcasts too. We put out a new podcast pretty much every day. So you can listen to us on your drive into work. You can listen to us while you're at the office, or if you're working from home. And then you can listen to us on your way home when you're doing your evening drive, or if you are just traveling a lot while you're on your mission. If you're a Uber driver, for example, you can put on 100 Yards of Football anywhere that you listen. So thank you so much for listening and sharing and putting everything out there for us, because between Mr. Landers, myself, our team with Vincent Turner and Bobby Butler and Kevin Bull Jones and some other great guests that we have done nothing but grow at this entire 2021 season, and we cannot wait to serve you for the entire season coming up, because we have some incredible things planned that you do not want to miss. Well, for the entire team here at 100 Yards of Football, including Mr. Logan Landers, our host, thank you for watching, and we'll be right back with another live